Well, it seems small cap investors are getting schooled while Nvidia and Apple battle it out in a David and Goliath battle. Welcome to the Daily. My name's Jessica Ramir, a market strategist with Moomoo. Well, the US election is about 2 weeks away. Caution is growing, and investors are perhaps worried that whoever will win the election will pump the economy with stimulus, pushing up inflation and keeping interest rates elevated. And this is all while we're hearing Fed speakers hint slower rate cuts are ahead. Meanwhile, Maersk, a shipping proxy, has raised shipping rates amid Red Sea attacks, and oil prices have rebounded up nearly 2%. And this has caused the VIX, the US dollar, and bond yields to rise back to July levels. So what's going on and what do you need to watch? Well, the Russell 2000, the small cap index, dropped nearly 2% on Monday in the US. While investors bought into the biggest tech stocks in the US, the NASDAQ 100, expecting them, to perhaps be able to continue to grow their profits amid the tech and AI boom. That's even if rates stay high for longer. Nvidia shares are worth watching. They rose 4% overnight to $143.71, a new record high. And Nvidia is now valued at $3.5 trillion US dollars, breathing right down the neck of Apple. In that David and Goliath showdown, it just needs to gain about $70 billion to overtake Apple. Investors will be weighing up, their apples. Apple does report earnings October 31, and if they outpace Nvidia's results on November 20, that'll be something to consider. Nvidia is expected to see 82% revenue growth to $33 billion US dollars, while Apple's revenue is only expected to nudge up just 5% to $94 billion. Lastly, consider local stocks and flavours. The Aussie share market at the open fell 0.7%, and that pretty much erased yesterday's gain, but we're still in record high territory, which is good news for the most part. Small ASX stocks, though, they are on the nose. BrainChip, Tyro, Lovisa, DroneShield, they're worth watching. Some of those names are down about in the order of 10 to 18% in 5 days. And as bond yields continue to rise, these stocks could face particular pressure. Longer-term investors are still buying the dip into everything and anything facing China, perhaps benefiting from China's fresh rate cuts that were announced yesterday. While local gold stocks are continuing to push up higher, Westgold, WGX, and Regis Resources, RRL, they're up 27% and 20% respectively in 5 days. And Chalice Mining is roaring up higher too. CHN, their stock is up 22% in 5 days, with some betting that palladium, nickel and copper project that Chalice runs could be a key beneficiary of China's stimulus. Last but definitely not least, consider this. Volatility is expected to rise, as it normally does ahead of a US election, but we've got $6.3 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. That's in US dollars. Some of that could return to the market once we get election certainty. Remember, markets typically rally from mid-November right through to December. And that's the Daily.